Another thing that people struggled with, number two, is just to have evidence that proves the thesis. Some people seem to play a game of quotes in which they're looking for the most amount of quotes possible instead of finding ones that actually connect to your thesis statement. So you really only need quotes that are easily connected to your thesis, of course, with your own explanation. And everything in your paper must clearly prove your thesis statement. So if it is just a fun fact or it's just basically sort of related, kind of maybe, you don't need it. It needs to actually prove your thesis statement, not just be basically sort of related. So just because something has something that might be related to, let's say, resilience, but you're talking about cruelty, it may not actually be helpful. You want to think about what is actually proving your point. And lastly, actually prove your thesis. Most people who didn't do as well as they wanted to on this essay didn't actually prove their thesis. And the biggest one is not having links that are thorough enough. If your link explanations are thin and just say a 1 or a 2 sentence explanation without going further and don't answer the questions, how do you know, or so what, why is it important? If you don't answer those questions, then you're probably not actually proving your thesis statement. The bulk of your paper should be your words and not the quotes. Simply having a one sentence that starts with this quote shows or this proves doesn't cut it. You need to keep going further. So here's an example. One thing I want to point out is in the purple is the link with a quote. There's 2 linked sentences and a conclusion sentence. So they say this quote is showing that people of Maycomb do not treat Boo Radley like an actual person. The fear from the rumors prevent them from treating Boo Radley like an actual person. Well, what's interesting is those 2 sentences actually say the same thing. In fact, that they're fearful and it treats them like an actual person. But if we looked at the quote, what is actually being said in the quote that lets us know this? If I haven't read this book before, I have no idea what's going on in this quote that is revealing this. I need to go a little bit further. So if we look at just visually at this one, there is a lot more going on. It continues to beyond the fact that the quote is showing that the people of Maycomb do not treat Boo Radley like an actual person. In fact, this shows with amazing detail how much the townfolk see Boo as an evil fairy of sorts. Aha! This person connecting an evil fairy to up above in the quote, malevolent phantom, so connecting back to the quote. Then it keeps going on. The rumors and people in the town even take away his name and change it to one that fits malevolent phantom. Connecting it back to the quote again. Of course, an evil fairy is not human and is to be regarded with fear, not compassion. Therefore, these 2 quotes, there's a lot of proof that the citizens of Maycomb treat Boo Radley like some sort of evil mystery, etc. So what's interesting is this person breaks down the quote. They talk about the evil fairy, the malevolent phantom, the change of the character's name, and because this fairy is not human, therefore, they are treating him with inappropriate fear. So I think that's really interesting about how they break down these quotes. So that's something we need when you are making an argument, is you need to break down your points as best as possible.